Yo, uh, my name's Hemi Newman, and it's just a message for our 6 to 16-year-old children and young people born after the 1st of August 2003. So it's actually now the 1st of August in 2019, so your generation is age 6 to 16, and your generation is the most wonderful generation in human history. You might not realise this, but you are. You're the generation that is actually driving social media, particularly the adolescents from 12 to 16. And over in the UK, they said that there's researchers in these schools found that 53% of you 6 to 16-year-olds are waking up 10 times a night to check your social media and going to school and falling asleep. So that's great because you are actually driving social media, and whoever's going to be driving social media in the future, they're going to rule the world. They've got a high potential to do it. And the learning networks are going to supersede Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat and WeChat and all the other ones Instagram that you use out there. So I'm letting you know what's going to happen, what's going to change. And you're the ones driving social media. But mainly in Africa, India, and South America, according to Mark Zuckerberg, who owns Facebook. And Mark announced about 3 weeks ago that the bulk of his followers are from those 3 continents: Africa, India, and South America. So that's where you all are. And there's 1.9 billion of you, young ones, all right, under the age of 15. And that's also, so you're 1/4 of the world's population. And you are the ones that we want to help with our Happy Training curriculum, to help you to discover your pathway to happiness and future employment. I was just talking to a friend of mine now, and he said that the university industry is overworked, and what happens is that only 20% of the students in university actually get a job when they finish their degree. Now, that's not very good, is it? That's not a hope to look forward to. So in our Happy Training curriculum, we're going to show you how to get a job, right, the clever way, and also how to discover your pathway to happiness and future employment. And you do that by finding out what your major goal in life is. We'll show you an exercise to do to find it. It'll take 21 days. Once you've found it, we'll show you how to do a 10-point plan to attain it. You know, to write it down, to look where you believe it, look at what sort of obstacles, what your starting point is, what your target date is, people and organisations you need to be involved with, you know, what school, what university, TAFE or whatever, if you're going to be a surgeon, what hospital you need to get involved with, you know, if you want to be a pilot, okay, you know, go in the Air Force or into a civil airline. So we'll help you to set your plan and make the milestones and the attainment to it, and the career path that you need to get on, the topics you need to study at school, and how to organise your life so that you can get future employment before you finish your studies. Right? That's the way to go. And particularly in what we call SCIP, our Sustainable Cities in Paradise, or for you Indigenous peoples living in a sustainable village and actually building it. So we'll teach you all these things because we have the global contract for recruitment, training and development of the inhabitants and the construction crews for building these sustainable villages and sustainable cities throughout the frontier and emerging markets in the remote, beautiful, pristine wilderness areas where there are lots of animals and where it's beautiful and wonderful off the sides of the rivers. We use the rivers as the transport system, and in monorail systems going away from the river in figure-8 formation with compact communities located on them, and we see it in our environmental scientists with the local Indigenous, what we call the master bushmen, In Australia, they're called lawmen. So we bring them in, and they work with our environmental scientists to go into an area the size of a footy oval, capture and relocate all the wildlife, from little lizards to marsupials, animals, all sorts, and relocate them to another part of the bush, and then also remove like suspended beehives and relocate them too into another part of the forest. So we have less than 1% impact on the natural environment. No cars, no automobiles, no petroleum, fossil fuels in our precincts. So these are the green cities of the future that we have the global contract for the recruitment and training. So if you want to do our training programs, we can put you in the loop for receiving what we call a lifetime cradle to grave employment and habitation contract, where you're set up for life. And even as a 6-year-old, we can set you up on that. We know your goals, your major goal in life, and we provide you with all the education tools and equipment that you need, books, uniforms, whatever you need. Our corporation will back you. So you're the most wonderful generation to ever live in human history. We're here to look after you. And I gave you a name. You see, because these horrible politicians called the one generation called the baby boomer generation, and they went the X generation, the Y generation, and these mongrels call you the Z. Z generation. You're the bottom of the barrel. I don't agree with that. And one thing I don't agree with either, I do not call you kids, because a kid is a goat. I call you children and young people, because that's what you are. You're people, but you're just a little bit smaller than us. So you're still people, and we should treat you with dignity and respect, because you are people. And you're a heck of a lot smarter and a lot wiser than some of these old clowns that have wrecked the planet. So it's up to you to put them in their place using social media, power of social media, which you are driving, and then do it through what we call personal learning networks, and also the 3-lane economy. But we'll teach you about that another time. I just wanted to say that today is the 1st of August, right? 1st of August 2019, and the date that we start with for working with your generation is from the first, those born after the 1st of August 2003. So when you turn 17, you're still in our online community, which is called Happy Nation, okay? Because we put you through a training program, we make you happy, no matter where you are starting. Even if you live in a slum, you can still be happy, because I was when I was living in one. So it's all right, don't worry about it. We're happy to get out of there, and we're happy to get a good life, right? And, it's what you believe in yourself or not. Because I spent 12 years in a slum. I mean, a real slum. Well, you see in India with all the rubbish out the back door and all that, everywhere. And but I still had a positive mind through all that. But I never took anyone home, because I couldn't. It was too disgusting. But I had a positive mind, because I knew my major goal in life from an age of 5. And I always kept that dream in my mind. And that was about these sustainable cities and sustainable villages in my own paradise island. So once you find it, you'll be a happy person, and you work your whole life towards the attainment of it. And you can be happy then, and you can get out of the darn slum. And I got out at 18 because I got all the qualifications to get into the Air Force. I was in the Air Force for 10 years. Got out, I was on $100 an hour in 1985. The average income was $7 an hour. By 1998, I was on $1,000 an hour. But people don't even make that in a week. I was on $1,000 an hour, right? And people had to pay me up front between $5,000 and $14,000 before I even talked to them. And they were flying in from overseas, from around the world, from over east, and paid me $1,000 an hour up front. Sometimes I was starting at 9 in the morning, I was still going at 9 at night. So if I lived in a slum, and I achieved that, and by the way, I went into international banking and commerce, and the bank gave me an open checkbook. I go buy houses, cars, you name it, any amount I like. Went through the bank. I took full advantage of that one. Ended up with all these assets in New Zealand, so which I put in my mate's name to protect it. So this is what you can do, see. So don't ever believe that you're a loser, that you can't do it, that you can't make it. And don't get caught on this trap of focusing on getting rich and famous and all that. That's a trap. Focus on getting balance, finding out what your major goal in life is, and going and getting it. And hanging out with the right people. Because one of my favourite sayings is, you can walk around the barnyard. You can fly with the eagles, or you can walk around the barnyard with the turkeys. You see? Now, an eagle flies, and he doesn't have flappers wings because he uses the the wind up there, these warm air currents, and he just glides. He just glides the sky, but he's got long sight, so he's quite wise sort of bird, and he can see long-sighted, and you see a mouse or a little rabbit a long way off, and then zoom in and take him. So that's an eagle. He cruises the sky. He does everything the easy way. So you fly with the eagles, make money the easy way because you're hanging out with the people that make the easy money, that'll teach you the secrets on how to do it, like I'll teach you. Or, the other choice, walk around the barnyard with the turkeys. You see, that's what a lot of people are doing. You were raised with the turkeys in the slum, in the low-income areas, and these turkeys see you try to improve yourself because you say, I don't want to live like this, I want to be a better person, I'm going to study, I'm going to get a job, whatever. You go to university, come out, you can't get a job because only 20% get a job, and the other 80% got to work catering or something for the next 2 years before they even have a chance. And this friend of mine, he applied for 3,000 darn jobs before he got one. That's terrible. But if you work with us, we'll look after you, do what we tell you, the advice we give you. I'm going to bring in these champions like myself. And there's a real interesting guy. He's a cyclist. You listen to this guy, man, talk about championship. He knows all the tricks. And there's another one, my architect. He's a champion too. This guy. He's fabulous. He's still at 77. He's still playing international hockey. How's that for a real champion? So I'm going to introduce you to the champions, the young champions, the old champions, the smart champions. They're all pretty smart anyway. So fly with the eagles or walk down the barnyard with the turkeys. And the thing about turkeys, you see, is they're fenced in. They can't get out. They're fenced in. And not only that, they do their droppings on the ground, they walk around in it. So they're walking around their own crap. That's what turkeys do. They create crap for themselves because they can't get an education. They can't get out of the blooming the slum they're in or the blooming low-income neighbourhood because they're using these stupid drugs. That really sends them down the wall. Don't go there, you young people. We'll teach you that you don't need those. You know, I'm 61. I've been to a lot of concerts, music concerts. Those ones I was stoned in, I don't remember. I was too far from my face. But the ones where I was straight, no beer, no drugs, I remember every move the dancers did. I remember every move the superstar did. I remember the mood, the feelings, the vibrations of the crowd. It was awesome. So what am I saying? Don't use those stupid drugs. They're not going to benefit you. And they're being laced today. There's all sorts of problems with those drugs. You need to stay right away from them. And you young girls, watch that. You keep your hand over the top of your glass of wine or whatever you're drinking, because someone can drop a pill in. They're going to spike your glass, and then they're going to rape you. And this is a problem we've got right here in Perth at this moment, where young girls are telling their parents to get stuffed. They've walked out of the home, they've become homeless, and they're getting caught in these so-called safe houses, which have been named as traps. And they go in there and they're befriended by these young people who are also homeless and rebellious, or they're just there partying and all that. But the trap for young girls is even as young as 10 or 11, is that particularly with these African boys we have here in Perth, they're a real evil mob, I've seen them, and they, when the party's raving, they're going to get you and they're going to rape you, and it's a gang rape situation. Now, in the past, when we ran our charity, we found that these problems were done by the older generations, gangs and things, but this is your own generation of young people. This is unusual that you're predators and criminals, rapists and whatnot are from your own generation. So we need to educate you that if you do leave home, do not go to these places, right? We'll tell you where to go to in your local towns and to the proper places like we have here in Perth called passages for young people. They'll put you on the right track to the right organisations. So look, there's going to be a lot of unemployed people at the end of this year. 2 out of 3 people employed all around the world can be unemployed, which may be your parents. If they have a mortgage and they can't pay it because they're unemployed, your whole family's going to get booted out on the street. If they are renting a home and got no savings, your whole family is going to be booted out on the street. So the homeless rate is going to increase, and the project that we're doing at the moment, initiative, is about homeless children here in Perth. There's 3,000. They're couch surfing, they're going to these traps, they're in danger. And my job is to promote it using our superstars, that we have a crisis here. We're going to address it for you. Okay, the digital generation is what I call you, because you're driving social media and you're very digitally focused. And I asked a few young people, you mind me calling you digital generation? I said, oh, that's an awesome name. I said, but we're going to shorten it, don't you? Because you always shorten people's names. Right? My daughter's name's Chiquita. She got shortened down to Chicky. Then it was shortened down to the Chick. So it's going to get shortened. And when we shorten it, it's probably going to get shortened to Digigen. Yeah, that's a cool name, man. I like that one. And the ones I asked about, they liked it too. Yeah, it's a real cool name, Digigen. Look, you don't have to accept being called the Z generation, like those idiots called the X and the Y generation who didn't oppose it. You have to believe that rubbish, because that's what politicians do. They label you with an X or a Y or a number. That's what you do in the military. That's what you do with pigs and animals. You give them a number. But you're human beings. You're a generation. You need respect. I'm not going to call you the Z generation, the bottom of the barrel. I'm going to call you the Digigen, because I think that is such a cool name. I hope you all like it, but we'll check it out on the webinar with all of you on it. We'll say how many of you want to be called Digigen, and we'll see what percentage comes up live online. All right, so that's what we can do. Anyway, so I just thought it's 9 o'clock in the evening, and I just thought I'd give you this little message, because it is the 1st of August, and our time started with the Digigen, who were born on the 1st of August 2003. And you lot are now age 16. You're the oldest of the digital generation, of the Digigen, and we're here to help you. All right, when you turn 17, you're still going to be in our happy nation, virtual nation. We have a website. It's called Indigenous Peoples Learning Network. The reason we did that is so that we get all the Indigenous people on our side, but the website's actually for non-Indigenous children and young people as well, right? Because we're going to be building these sustainable villages, sustainable cities on the lands of the Indigenous peoples. So we need to get on side with them by having the Indigenous Peoples Learning Network. Okay, so don't be put off if you're non-Indigenous and you think, no, that's only for Indigenous people. That's load nonsense. It's for all of you, right? And our vision is to create a happy future for our children and for our children's children, both Indigenous and non-Indigenous. So we're here for you. And our website, by the way, I'm locking it that only the digital generation can become members of it. And all the other generations, older generations, they can get lost. I'm not interested in their business. I'm not interested in their money, because we don't need it, because we've got superstars coming in behind us. And today, I had a good chat with Hank Marvin. Now, you won't know him. Neither will your grandmother, neither will your grandfather, neither will your great-grandfather. Oh, Hank won't like that. Anyway, he's an old boy. He's 77. But he was the first superstar in Great Britain. I sent him the document today saying we're helping your generation out with this homeless problem we got. These little girls getting raped, right, by these Africans and all these bad Australians that are doing it in these traps. So I've asked them for help. and to send us through to all the other superstars so they come and help us too. And that's good, because we need to make young people all around the world aware here are the dangers, because a lot of people are going to be homeless this time next year. We've got 9,000 here in Perth homeless. Next year, this time, it's going to be 90,000. And among that are going to be a lot of children, and we need to make sure that they are safe. All right? So that's where we are today, and that's my message to you, because I'm the founder of our charity, and I don't want to be the teacher teaching you. But what I'm doing is I'm training our rappers, because that's what I do, and we create wonderful music. And I'm training them, and they're only young, like they're 14 to 24, beautiful looking, and they start off singing R&B songs, a popular R&B song, and they swing straight into freestyle rap. And they freestyle with no swearing, no gangster rap, none of that rubbish, and no foul language, anything like that, or sexual talking. It's all happy hip hop. So we start off singing R&B, swing straight into freestyle rap, right? And we'll freestyle, and we'll talk about you, mention your name, and crack a joke, and the social issues, whatever's going on. And then we'll swing into beatboxing, and there's some deadly beatboxing, and then from the beatboxing we'll swing back to either reggae or back to R&B, and we'll pass on the next person. Yeah, I love this, right? This is what we call the clean, happy hip-hop music and dance civilization. So we're taking the best of the dance out of the hip-hop industry too. And we're going to be doing this virtual reality, sorry, not virtual reality, this clean hip-hop music and dance reality show. And you can follow our rappers and me as I teach them all the secrets, how to be a champion, how to fly with the eagles, get out and walk around the barnyard with turkeys. And you're going to love it. And they're going to teach you all these secrets too. But they're going to rap, and they're going to sing to you at the end of our training programs, I think. We'll put a few beats on. We're going to give you some really, really good music and a lot of fun. And remember this, that website, if they're over 16 when they come to it, say, thank you very much for your business. Sorry, this is for the Digigen, this website. And it took me 2 years to get it built in India. It's got a massive back end, and we're now putting in the Zoho digital infrastructure to drive it. We're expecting 2 billion hits once we start live streaming all our virtual reality music concerts next year, 14 months' time. So that's where we are at, and I hope you like what I'm telling you. We'll update you with what Hank Marvin says and all these superstars that we're contacting in the United States, because I used to be an entertainment promoter. And bring them on side, and they're going to look after you too, and you'll be able to interact with them in our webinars, all right? You're going to love it. So you stay in contact with us, you follow us on social media, you have a nice time tonight, because you are the most wonderful generation in all human history, and we just love you. And it's a pleasure to work with you. Good night. Over and out.